So now to talk about the Hera, the Queen of the Gods. Her synergies are Avengers, Celestial Phantom, so same as Althea. Althea unfortunately has lost her value in the Avengers once the Avengers got the extension on the synergy, which grants immediately revival, which wasn't the case before. So Althea was crucial for the Avengers, but now with 6, 7 or even 8 Avengers, she's not really crucial at all, and she's only serving her as a filler, synergy filler, because her synergies are still great and still unique, because Avengers don't have a lot of Celestial Phantoms. In fact, they have only 2 or 3 if you count Victoria, hence why she has a place in the PvP right now. But I believe Hera will be replacing her quite easily, but we might make a third Avenger Phantoms teams with Janna, Persephone, Althea, and perhaps some new additional Avengers in the team. So to start off, Hera deals 678 damage to all enemies. All enemies is amazing with low AoE skills. So a lot of damage, all enemies, pretty great skill. 6-star passive. When an ally dies, 50% chance to stun all enemies for 1 round. Once per round, this is pretty OP. As Avengers, especially Phantoms Avengers, they die a lot. They don't have a scaling unless you play 7 to 8 Avengers. So unless there's these at the start of each round, increase the ally team's max HP and defense. If you don't have this, or then you will likely be dying a lot with Avenger Phantoms, and if you don't play Arctina or Lucifer with them especially. So at 8 stars this is increased to 100%, pretty strong, pretty OP and pretty scary. If you do this, you have potential to permastun all enemies for the 15 rounds and then win on the scaling HP of 8 Avengers. So if you play 8 Avengers, which is very high likely because you can just have one Lucifer X, Permaldir, Arctina, and then the Hera in here, and you can have 8 Avengers, which is really scary and easy to do. You can permastun all enemies for the entirety of 15 rounds and win on the scaling of the HP. Issue is if they die, they will cleanse the stun, so 2 Celestials are still crucial for the battles. You must have 2 Celestials to have when an ally unit dies, purifies all debuffs, which is a stun, and dispels all buffs from all enemies. So having 2 Celestials will be crucial, especially in these kind of matches. So it will go just back and forth between stunning, dying, and purifying the stuns between these matches, and the winner will be probably the one that got better RNG. So we will see how that goes. The passive 2, or rather her 7 stars, so she will be usable at 6 stars. This is quite usable to be a death bot, so you just deploy her in Avengers that have a lot of Avengers like 6, 7. Just deploy her there, she will be dying, she will be stunning enemies, that's her goal. So usable but not ideal, obviously. 7 stars, number of revives for Avengers is increased by 1. Amazing change, really great. We will see how that goes, but I believe it will be good. It should be great because it's, after all, 5 additional revives if it counts herself, which I believe she should. And then 9 stars is allies gain a shield, 100% of max HP after revival. This is bad because currently the meta is Venus, and Venus likes shields. When shields break, Venus will ult and other allies will ult. She will steal the shield, so shields overall equals bad. But I don't think it will be as bad in this case, especially considering how big they will be. But if she steals them, then yeah, pretty terrible. But you can't really do much without it, because you do need Hera to be 9 stars to have that additional +2 Avengers, which is going to be amazing. And on top of that, Aphrodite is getting also X, so she will also be possible to count as 2 Avengers in the next season. So the 7-star passive is amazing. The 9-star passive might be really bad against Venus, but really strong against anyone else, really. It just further enhances the sustain of these Avengers, which is great. Like, sure, these Phantom Avengers love dying, but if they can win without dying, why would you need them to die in the first place? So overall, really nice passive, as long as you don't face Venus with it. And now to move to her ult force, so 8 stars, allied heroes deal 100% damage to all enemies before dying. In PvP, allied heroes gain 1 extra attack after revival. So as for this part for the PvP, I don't know to what it refers. It could be basic attack, it could be active attack, it could be ultimate. I'm not sure what it is, so if it's like ultimate, it's amazing. They will be casting ultimates like crazy, especially Narissa, which really loves ultimates in this case. And even Yingzheng does love ultimates, especially if it stacks with his additional action that he performs after his ultimate. So overall, really strong if it's additional ultimate. If it's just basic attack, then nobody really cares about it. As for this effect, so as I said, we can move Magatama to the team 2 or rather the Phantom Valiantors now, because Magatama is the Hera herself. So it's basically the same text. So grants allies the last words effect. Upon death, summon 2 exploding spirits dealing 100% damage to all enemies. So allied heroes deal 100% damage to all enemies before dying, which is before dying, same as dying pretty much. I'm not sure what's the difference. We will have to test the difference and see how it's coded, but if it's like Magatama, then it's amazing, because having 2 Magatamas means we can move the main one to the weaker team and make the weaker team stronger, or vice versa. We will see how it goes, but we can mix these teams up and have really strong Magatama, or even have both Hera and Magatama in a single team and yeah, basically nuke the opponents like insanely. On 10 stars and 12 stars, the damage increases by double, so really strong, and then gets extra 3 attacks after revival. Again, not sure what those attacks refer to, whether if they're ultimates, then amazing. Narisa will be able to ult million times per round in this case. If it's basic attacks, then as I said, nobody really cares. Maybe we'll care about it if we slot in Victoria instead of Lucifer. And her rune effect is, after taking action, Hera increases defense and max HP of all allies by 20%, triggers up to 10 times per round. So let me see whether that's same as Arcane Arbella or if it's different. If it's same as Arcane Arbella, then we can simply say this rune effect is trash. Okay, it's same. So yeah, so this rune effect is pretty bad. You only need epic because it won't trigger more times than once per round. So after taking action means after she takes action, and it can't trigger more times than more than 10 times. It can trigger even more than 1 times, because in Arcane Arabella's case, they didn't code these additional ultimates to count as action, so it's not really counting. So her only epic tier runes are enough, because she will never be able to trigger more than 15 times. So overall, the same rule applies to the Hera, so she has same runes as Arcane Arbella, only epics, and it's enough. Her art style is pretty good, but I can't help but notice that she's basically Tiamat. Like, I don't know, she's basically just Tiamat. Like, look at this. She's a bit prettier, but I guess nobody really cares. It's the same pose, quite literally just turned around. And yeah, design wise, I think she's weaker. She's pretty, but she's far weaker than compared to this one. Like, you can argue this is Dullahan, but it's still better than what we got, like Tiamat against Hera, in my opinion, at least. So, and yeah, lastly, these are the X heroes for the season 15. So it's Aphrodite, Wu Zetian, and Hades. Don't get Hades. As I said in the previous talk, Hades is a bait. At 7 synergy, he won't eat unless the bug has been fixed. I haven't tested, I don't care really, I don't run him there. But yeah, don't do X Hades, do Aphrodite or Wu Zetian. Wu Zetian is probably the best and most flexible, but Aphrodite cannot be a mistake either, so yeah. Then we have for you relics, I will go again over them in the next video probably, but as for Loki, yeah, let's cover Loki.